Alright, let's get going. Let's see. Oh, wait. I didn't even think about checking rugs. Oh, God. Yeah, let's get this done real quick if we can. That looks like a familiar relief. Yeah. That looks familiar. Oh, no. We're gonna have one of these frozen moments, huh? Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Are we done yet? Yeah, are we? Oh, this is a great way to start things off. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, I cannot wait to get the new PC, chat. Oh. Hmm. Yeah, we don't care right now. Ah. Oh, they're gonna circle. Oh, what's this doing here? Over here. Go. Nah, nothing important there. Yeah, same release we saw earlier. Got the lion stuff here. I suppose you can now start wondering if that has any connection to Godfrey, but I think it'd be weird if you're keeping out. Well, maybe. Now you got me thinking. Well. Let's see. Oh, well, at least this one has worked, right? They actually used a different design on this one. That's probably the most shocking thing of all. Don't know if these are familiar, but... I'm not seeing anything familiar outside of Gelmir. Yeah, even the ceiling's a little unique. Yes. There we go. Anything else I really want from you? Not really, so... Ah, there's the flower. Alright, so it looks like a few generic images, but nothing too crazy. That works just fine. Alright, now for the main event. Start an actual Siofra. Alright, so we got the Worshipper's Woods. Yeah, there really isn't anything too special about this. Oh, now that I look at this, I have to question, did the Siofra River even exist when the ancient Civ did? If not... Yeah, that would hold some... Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, that has to hold some major implications. Either it didn't exist, or if it was much more controlled than it is now, which is even stranger to think about considering that the Nox built an entire aqueduct, which would imply that there was no such system present for the water before. Or at the very least, we have to assume the aqueduct is rerouting the water. No, that's not true, though. The water's coming crashing down from the waterfall, so yeah. Yeah, it's all its own thing by itself, huh? I have so many shots of this by the time I'm done. Still not quite sure what this is supposed to be. This we've seen in some other reliefs too, unrelated, but the general gist seems to be old robed men doing various things that do include seemingly cultivating or, what's the word, harvesting from trees. And there's this, which is people thinking like boats or something, right? So we'll see how that pans out. Yeah, we got these 5 conifers right here. Not much indication otherwise, though. Actually, if the Siofra rivers didn't exist during the ancient Civ time, that would also imply that these trees would commonly grow along the rivers didn't exist either. And if that's true... You have to wonder. We have some trees growing inside the river, which is a bit unusual. Again, these trees are more widespread here than they are anywhere else, so maybe not that crazy. A lot of competition for crowding. Yeah, it's nowhere near as... Yeah, like, you can see the quality difference here. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, the quality difference is nuts. Guy's just doing his flower picking. Oh yeah, the river couldn't have always been here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have trees down here. So it's either flooding this area. Oh, surprised this tree's still alive. Typically not. Oh, it might be the idea though that it's not growing technically on here. It's growing in. This one's growing on like the fringe. Same with this. Yeah, the river is over flooding here may be slightly more recent than we would think. Because generally the trees miss. In this case, we definitely see a lot more of these than you would expect. Could it be because of the octopus? I don't know enough about octopuses to factor that, huh? Lay it on me, Night Scout. Let's see. Let's go back further up, see if this works. I guess we're past this pillar. As we're past the pillar, we stop really seeing this. But what about over here? Yeah, it's on the edge here. Yeah, this is where we just see the dead trees. Yeah, this one's at the precipice edge. Shield is said to feature a tree against the blue side, but it's sold by a merchant in East Limgrave, region where the sky is usually green. Do you suppose Limgrave sky was once different, or that the shield was actually from Caelid or Liurnia? You know, I've never really given much thought to the whole green sky and Caelid thing. I mean, my default assumption would be no. I think the idea, especially considering there's so much association with the Erd Tree in the sky and stuff with the Godric faction. I could definitely see it as just kind of being creative license there. But then again, I'm not too familiar with green skies, potential real-life applications and stuff, and what that could potentially mean about Limgrave. Because usually, again, you're right, when we think of, like, blue skies and lands between, I typically think of, like, Liurnia, right? You know, when it's not raining, or foggy, or cloudy, or, you know, just, you know, Liurnia weather. But yeah, like daytime with clear skies in Limgrave tends to be, yeah, green, and otherwise it's like gray, so. I mean, nah, I'm not gonna say it. That's not, I don't think, fair to apply in this case, so. But yeah, that is an interesting idea that maybe Limgrave didn't always have a green sky. I guess you can kind of, if you want to tie it thematically with like Godric's faction, but we don't do themes here. Yeah, they really don't want you to get high quality stuff unless it's freaking got a bunch of cosmic jizz splattered all over it. Oh. Yeah. I have to start looking into what octopuses do, if they're like, you know, like some type of like bottom feeder or something. Yeah, Lyria Mountaintop is a place with blue skies. Langdale itself also has that, but I think that's only because the Erd tree is weakened. I mean, I don't know if the Erd tree has really any effect on that, but again, if we're going with the idea that there is some magical quality with Engrave, then maybe. I don't know. My default assumption would be no, but I'd be interested to see someone build a case for it, for sure. It's definitely interesting. Nope. Nope. Yeah, it's literally in the vicinity area. Yeah, it's literally like, this is where the octopus grazes, and all the trees are not dead. That has to be why they put octopuses there in that specific corner, then. That is so odd. Especially for, because this is where the water is dumping down in, too. I need to go up here, though, now to see if there's a comparison, because maybe it's another factor. No. This isn't a good way to get up there. Where's this? Where's the teleport point? This isn't it. No. Not here either. Where is that fallen pillar? Should be around here, right? Yeah, around here. There we go. I feel land octopus and Miranda flowers in that area could indicate a lot of ancient civilization. Human remains were once there, or ancestral follower remains. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. The two man-eating, species, yeah. Could also be they're collecting any of the bodies that flow down, at least the octopuses for sure, that are flowing down from the river. I could see that. How did I never think of this before? Our buddy here may have also, or maybe I did and I just forgot, because this seems like something I might have included and then I completely forgot about after I wrote it down. I'll have to double check the analysis, but yeah. How dumb do I have to be to have not thought of something that obvious? This is admittedly a pretty cool shot, I will say. Yeah, bodies might be flowing down from deep due to how America's scar seals and dragons. Yeah, exactly. I feel like the dragon skin is something I would have mentioned. I'm surprised I haven't already. Like, I looked at that, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Flowed down river. Though the dragon kid would have to wash down the aqueduct, might not fit by then. Just strong. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, as I always say. We don't consider how things are physically able to get around unless it's, like, actually something the plot itself emphasizes. We just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth trying to think about or justify. It's just... they do! Life finds a way. Rather, NPCs find a way, so... So you have a little bit of this with the trees. So it's not 100% exclusive to just the octopus stuff, so... But yeah, it's still mostly evasive. So it could just be that... just be... no, because there's then a problem with some of the other stuff. You can't just say it's recent, right? Actually, this one's usually the one outlier. No, it's got a second one, okay. And there's more. Okay, so there is a few more I can find. There are the crabs here, though, so... Ooh. I forget, how common is it that we can find this stuff down here, though? That was, how are you? Cool. Much better. So we got the aqueduct over there. Got the crabs. Yeah, we do have the crabs, but the crabs are like around here too, where the dead trees are. So unless it's like they moved, I'd be amazed if in content we find octopuses were placed in that area too. That'd be really important, but. We have a lot of this like sea growth and stuff, so the river is not like recent, that's for sure. On the edge, we're not going to count that. Yeah, there's a lot more of these things than I remember. Oh. That's fine. I didn't need to live anyway. Now I want to compare to Deep Root Depths, because I remember Deep Root Depths having a lot of trees, too. Yeah, there's a lot of water everywhere, so there should be a lot of living trees that are flooded in the water, too. Interesting. That's just a different quality to the water. Yeah. Okay, then there's a different quality to this water underground compared to what we see above ground. That's fascinating. Okay, so back to the drawing board on the octopuses, but... like you said, the man-eating might be able to justify it. Yeah, honestly, with the man-eating, I could probably add that as data on the whole river float. And that's why we don't see any coffins or corpse piles there like we do elsewhere. Yeah, that would justify a lot. Yeah, river's also been flooding this area for a while, too. Yeah, a lot more of these gray flowers than I was thinking. Yeah, you can't even turn a corner without finding these things. you kidding me? There's a freaking leaf. I just noticed the leaf in front of the store. There. Yeah, it's everywhere. Okay. I really need to do a macro analysis on fan daggers. Trying to see if there's any pattern there to where we find a lot of them, or at least a good majority. Still need to find Raven Mount. Man, I can't wait for the DLC to answer that question. Please, please, Miyazaki. Give me some more Raven Mount lore. The sheer number of gargoyles down here is curious. I wonder if the graves were harvested at a corpse wax factory. I think that the gargoyles were all stationed here already. From before the Estelle attack, hence why they're destroyed after the Estelle attack. Well, so I would say that the reason they're there is probably having to do with either A, just their interactions with Lindell and stuff, and the whole, and B, the Godwin burial, if I had to guess. I think it's also probably why we see, like, Crucible Knights down here and stuff like that. Probably all ties together into one big incestuous Noxian relationship. Does anyone know what this attack does damage-wise? You wonder if they were used for corpse wax? Maybe. We don't know about the, we don't see any signs of, like, Erdtree burial or anything by the Nox down here, right? Or any type of idea that they were, in the same situation as, say, Liurnia was. So if I were to hazard a guess at this point, I would say they would probably have lots of bodies around, especially for seeing them, like, throw them in coffins and stuff. But again, this could be done by the Golden Order people after the fact. Yeah, madness buildup makes sense. Again, it's hinting back to the connection to the three fingers up there. Not the weirdest. Good. I think this one warrants... This one, I think, warrants a high LOD. Yeah, it just tells us that the idea is that there's a connection, of course, with the person out here. It could be before or after the Estelle incident. I can go either way on that. It really depends on, you know, you have all these coffins laying around. Like, you could have anybody here decide, you know what, this guy just died. Let's just throw him in a coffin, right? Alright, that's done. Let's focus now. Not as much as I was kind of hoping for. Oh, how could I forget? There we go. ILOD off. Around here I remember seeing some crap. Okay, no, it was just a spirit thing. For a second, I thought that was a waterfall or something. I was like, oh, where's the waterfall coming from there? Weren't the boluses from the body that slumped over atop the coffin? No, it was from the body inside the coffin. Which one? This one. Yeah, I was confused too, because I thought I was looting this body, but no, it was this body inside. That's why I had to turn and look. It was like, oh, okay. And then I got off the horse and I looted the body slumped over instead. And then it heads this way, and then it heads all the way over. So what I'm getting at is looking all this, is that we don't necessarily see any new trees growing in this water, but potentially existing trees are being sustained by it. How many trees are inside the ruins? Not really. We see more roots than trees. A rune arc. Smithing stone 6. Let's get a shot of this dude. I don't think he has anything to do with the jailer. I think it's just a matter of we have a bunch of people, especially if they're using, like, you know, noble corpses or something like that, right? Again, they don't have to, but considering what they did with the village, I feel like they would probably want to use, like, another one of the corpses or something. At least, like, a naked corpse or whatever, like with the ashes, I think it was, for the one of the prisoners. So, yeah, I think it's just a dude who was around in the area where the madness stuff is, and then he dies. I don't think it's anything too complicated. Alright, we have, like, small plants and stuff. But the big trees and things seem to more or less avoid... Oh, no, I spoke too soon. No, actually. Yeah, this would still be outside. Okay, but then... Wait, how are these... How are we supposed to interpret these buildings? Honestly, this looks almost like a garden wall type thing, so maybe I should just ignore that, yeah. No, we do have... Yeah, it's hard to say how much. Are these supposed to be, like, walls or buildings? It's like, it's obvious. Okay, no, this is an obvious one. Okay, yeah, so we do have trees growing inside. Okay, so trees can grow just fine. They can get around and they can grow inside the area just fine and proliferate. Okay, good to know, good to know. They look pretty yellow. They look like the same type of yellow trees we see elsewhere. Down to the leaves. So I'm pretty sure they're the same species. Let's just find a random. Yeah, over here is always good. Alright, I got what I wanted from Siofra at least. Now I gotta look at Ainsel. Yeah, it looks pretty normal. Don't see anything unusual here. Then of course we got our favorite, you know, rich gold down over here. Right next door. Man, contrast it really took me a while, but now that I've seen it, like, the contrast really is apparent. It's crazy. Alright. Yeah, let's go to Ainsel now. Because I don't remember looking at the trees when I was there. So, if I understand this correctly, we should be seeing the same thing. Right? A lot of spooky trees. Ah! I completely forgot we could not go that far. Do you think the Crucible Knight armor, the Cellular guards, belongs to one of the deceased Crucible Knights buried at Rhodes and Catacombs? No, I think it's just a spare equipment. Personally, like, that would be my, like, thing. I think it's just like, oh, we want to give it to here. We'll say that she, you know, she's storing, like, her spare armor or whatever. I mean, you could always make the argument that, like, it's taken from there, yeah, but, like, I don't see any necessary need where I'd be like, okay, this is so relevant, like, we have to, like, make the connection there. I think it's fine to just say, well, it's just spare armor. God, you gotta love developers. They really know how to craft an illusion. I don't recall seeing these types of bush plant things around often. Are they just for background decoration? Alright, we see lots of these trees with the coffins and stuff. This I'm also not quite used to. You know, now that you mentioned, Night Scout, the man-eating Miranda flowers, I am curious now if there's a correlation between where Miranda flowers are and the idea of death. Now, that could be hard to establish because if we're, unlike, say, like, a grave marker or something, like, it's like, ah, well, there's lots of death in the lands betweens. But, like, I am curious if that could work. If, like, we can find them, like, congregating in areas where there's been lots of death or something. Because, like, yeah, we see them grow in, like, the ruins of the Waypoint Town and stuff, which isn't necessarily has, like, a bunch of dead people there, per se, but it's like, well, it might. I'm wondering if there's other places that follow a similar pattern. More human bone shards! That's a lot of human bone shards we've got, and that's the second time. Huh. Huh. Why human bone shards, though? Is it just because there's lots of death there at the Nameless Eternal City, so they're trying to help connect to areas? Like, why? And smithing stone 4s. Stone sword key. Smithing Stone 4s are Liurnia based, right? So we found a few of those around the Nameless Eternal City too. I found at least one. Could be that the claim include the anything else the dead body might have had. I mean, I guess if there was something like super relevant they wanted from the dead body, I suppose. The thing with the claimant is like why would they do that? Yeah, they don't actually stick them in the ground, so they're all like they're doing all this through gravity powers. Oh, yeah. That's perfect. Man, chat, when I find that angle, I find that angle. I am so proud of myself there. I think maybe the camera is hoping players can't look high enough. Might be worth testing with the normal camera. No. You gotta remember, Night Scout. We can do this from range, and we have telescopes, so we can zoom in from range. So, like, yeah, it's not just, oh, maybe the normal camera doesn't work. Like, it's really hard to get the normal camera to be unable to look up enough to see this stuff. Unless it's like a really, really tight space that you really can't get a good distance. It's 100% just... Yeah, he just floats there. So if the intention is supposed to be that they're in the ground, the developers aren't trying to actually clip them through to make that happen. I guess. I'll be honest, I'm not really happy with that one. Frickin' ants. What the hell are you doing up here? How long have you been there, buddy? Pal? Friend? Like, where did all this come from? Wait. Did I screw up, chat? Did I make a point? No, I didn't make a point of no return. Yeah, we're supposed to be up here. I forget what's in that chest. It's probably nothing important. Smithing Stone 6. Somber. Yep, that makes sense. Again, goes back to that, Nameless Eternal City connection back there. In fact, you know what? Again, just in case, chat, you never know when I want a reference image of that corpse when we're talking about this crap. Guys are like, praise be. Let's just do normal angle first. We'll do, yeah, there we go. Might be worth noting the apparent silver tier. Where's the silver tier we're talking about? Night Scout, feel free to clarify. Man, it's when you get angles like this that you can really kind of see the developer's vision come to life. There you go. There we go. Man, those coffins, they flew the wrong way. Nah. I think the one shot I got was the best one. And that just takes us straight to Noxtella. Man, really short aqueduct, huh? And we don't see any more of these coffin things anymore, right? Until we get all the way down here. I thought I saw one pulsing near Estelle. I don't recall one normally being there. Might have just been seeing things, but if it's legit, it could be a straggler. Yeah, that could be good to double check then. So we'll double back in a moment. Yeah, and then it's back down here. It's the same idea. Well, granted. Okay, granted. Okay, so the coffins got stopped here, right? And then they keep going down the river this way. Right? Yeah, because we have it there, and then they get stopped. Yeah, because then they go there, and then they get stopped all the way down at the other thing back here, right? Wow, they really have all that loaded in advance, huh? And the corpses. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy how this game is put together with duct tape. I know my background music is stopped, but I'm gonna just enjoy the waterfall right now. Alright. Alright, we followed the trail. No, I think what you might have been seeing was this chest, Night Scout. It's not a silver tier. We don't have silver tiers here. Yeah, so we have corpses that go that way, corpses that flow down that way to take the other route, and we've gone through and explored that stuff there. We still are seeing tons of trees there. We have the Miranda flowers with the frenzy connection, because again, it all goes back to this whole flowing down river shtick. Can you, like, go the other way? Yeah, thanks. Good. I like you. Seriously, I really, 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 really like you now. You made my day, Mr. Miranda. Well, Mrs. Miranda Flower, I'm sorry. Didn't mean any offense. You know, it's kind of hard to tell. The wing of Estelle being a chest might imply this Estelle's been hanging there for a long time, or else the main Estelle took this path down from Deep Root. Curious that Noxtella got up easy then. I think we can go with... the thing is, we have the Stargazer people and stuff, so, like, the Noxtella thing is supposed to be a wing from Estelle, right? Let me look it up real quick, because I want to be done with this stuff soon, so I want to finish my exploration. Sword fashion for a delicate Venus to use the magic of the star. Yeah, okay, so it's supposed to be the actual... From a relic of the natural born of the void, who said to have assailed the eternal. So it's supposed to be something where it's like, okay, Estelle, like, it's a wing of Estelle itself that, like, got shed or came off or whatever, right? Okay, so it's in that chest. I can imagine, then, that similar to the, especially considering it's found right behind one of those, Estelle malformed grotesque things, you know, this stuff. Malformed star. I'm willing to believe that Estelle had, again, some pieces of it breaking off as it's going down, and those formed the malformed stars, and someone got the wing and, like, you know, put it together and stuff, and Miyazaki and From Software want us to kind of connect the dots on exactly why we have this trail of Estelles. Right. I think that's the idea. You know what? Actually, now that I say that, that could explain the multiple Estelles we see in that other Estelle's boss fight. If we believe that Estelle can break off and stuff over time, then Estelle in that tunnel that's been there for who knows how long, especially let's assume like it was in the meteor, so like it was part of the meteor or whatever, and then like it broke free when the tunnel was being excavated or something. If we believe that it's been down there for a really long time, then we can imagine why there's a bunch of similar malformed star stuff that it can, like, summon together or whatever. Like, it's a bunch of its, like, pieces or whatever that's broken off and it's recollected, maybe. Ooh. I'm gonna want to explore that angle a little more, see how that goes. Alright, and then Ainsel River... Where do we want to start this? Let's start this downstream then. And I'll go upstream. You got the impression it would lay eggs? Well, that's an interesting, another interesting, consideration. I don't know if you... Because what would it mean for a star creature to lay eggs, and those eggs are just more stars, that become, like, essentially, like, gray duplicates of itself? Yeah, that's an interesting way to put it. I mean, technically, I guess you could say we're both right. It is technically kind of a form of, like, you know, laying seeds for new progeny, in a sense.
Well, divorce.
I still don't know why the prisoner stuff. Is the idea that you have prisoners who come down here interested in learning sorcery? I guess? Because they're, like, upper class people and they want to learn fancy sorcery that they can't learn up top, maybe? Like, I guess? Well, I still don't understand why the Thaw Frost and the Stimulating Boluses are chosen. Why the boluses that deal with sleep and the ones that deal with frost? I do not know. How does that go? How does that work? I have to go through Nardi's, because I think Nardi has a thing on Ainsel River, and I want to look through it again and see if there's any more connections I can draw to some of the miscellaneous items. We don't have any coffins leaning against here, but we get pretty close. And this is a weird angle to say that they would flow down then. So unless the argument is that the coffins would flow down this way. Huh. Yeah, there's no avoiding it. There's definitely have those there. No coffins, no coffins, no coffins, no coffins. No other source for these. Oh, we have tons of coffins and stuff here. So maybe they can get through the aqueducts, the sluice gates, I mean. Because they have to get through here, and then they have to flow all the way here to potentially get to the boss arena. So I guess you could just argue that we don't see any because any that might get caught in the Noxtella environment would get cleaned up by the Nox. Because, you know, they're still, like, patrolling there with their ants and stuff, so that's probably the safest explanation. Maybe you can say the same for the Clayman? Maybe. Are you winning, son? Hey there. I wouldn't say I'm winning, per se, but I'm getting somewhere. Probably gonna end things soon. Yeah. I was like, I don't remember there being any coffins or anything here. Yeah, and they don't have any coffins back here. At least they're not loading them right now. Yeah, okay. So they might probably still come from here. Oh, there's Nox stuff here, though. Yeah, okay. There's buildings that weren't supposed to have all this going here. There wasn't supposed to be water flowing here. This sluice gate was supposed to be closed. Or wasn't supposed to be flowing through here. Okay. I can rot my beloved. You love weird things. Oh, sorry, buddy. Yeah, so then you're here. Yeah, we don't see much in ways of trees or plant life down here, so... You know what? The lack of... I'm trying to think this one through. I'm wondering if the lack of trees compared to the Nameless Eternal City and Nocron is actually significant. God, there's so many more factors than I initially thought when I was doing all this. Because you have the plants up here, and then it just stops. I have to wonder if this... no, the river definitely went here, because otherwise why build a sluice gate? You think the ants are the source of the Noxus silk? Um, clothing? I could see that, yeah. Yeah, like, if you told me, oh, they got it from the ants, like, I could totally buy that, sure. I mean, if we could see them in Noxtella, riding them with a little mind control, what's a little ant farming, right? Alright, let's check Noxtella real quick, and then we're done. Put life here. It's a little, got a bit of that silver come on it, but... Yeah, we have a lot of signs of, like, a dead tree and driftwood and stuff, but nothing too crazy here. I have to wonder if the ability to sustain the trees correlates to the closeness to the source of the river. If Natural Born Estelle went through here to get to the Grand Cloister, I wonder if Noxtella itself wasn't present yet. I doubt it. For several reasons. You got the whole Moon of Noxtella thing. The way that Estelle's actions and timing of stuff would suggest that it takes place after Godwin's burial and stuff. You would have the well, damn, what's it called? I'm trying to come to mind. Oh yeah, some of the stuff with the Legion people up there. I forget what they're called, the Inverted Hawk or whatever. There's a lot of things to tell us that there probably was there has been an Noxtella. That's not just like this newly sprung up thing. Oh yeah, and of course the relations with the Carians. How could I forget that? Long-standing... Oh, Carian relations. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, the weird thing about these, like, lower buildings is that it doesn't seem to correlate to the water. So the trees, maybe you can make that justification, but the water down here is certainly not. We have trees here. That's the crazy part. We have trees here. And they're the spoopy kind, just like at the mouth to this Ainsel River we had right back here, right? So that's ominous. Though granted, the justification is the rot. I don't know what the justification the other way, though, would be. That one is kind of beyond me. What exactly is that hole supposed to be? Just a hole? It's not even a hole, it's just a... There's the light projecting on the... God damn it, Miyazaki. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the justification here was supposed to be, because we don't see this stuff at the Nameless Eternal City, so... The NEC! You know what, I need to start calling it that. I didn't see it on my good pal, the NEC. Yes, we get it. You're sending all these leaves. Oh my gosh. Stop with the leaves. What do you think this place is, Limgrave? Let's, there we go. There we go. Why is there a giant inaccessible area? I don't know. There always is. They can never... They give us the map, but they don't give us the place. It's always a disappointment. Alright, I think I'm gonna... You know what? Okay, one last thing. I wanna check this water stuff up here, so... How does this work? Oh. Drawstring holy grease. Smithing stone 6. Yeah, that goes with the whole fundamentalist thing, so... Oh, you know what? That explains the destroyed buildings. Fighting, of course. How could I forget? Good old-fashioned... We killed them. Fighting with a bunch of unwelcome guests. There we go. There we go. Buddy, can you, like, have non-clipping clothes? Like, that would be nice. Okay, no, so it's water. Okay, so the water here is water that goes blue. So it has to be either somewhere else that's dumping or... Yeah, okay. Okay, or it's like underground seeping. That's acceptable. That's a celestial doom. Come on. Really? I know we have tons of stuff for fundamentalists and crap that are down here, so... Not opening you. The point of the destroyed buildings isn't to try to justify or say that they had like explosives or something, Night Scout. It's simply to kind of showcase how, oh, okay, there was, you know, raiding and fighting and destruction, you know, from just fighting and stuff. Like, we see this all the time with destruction and things that happen. It doesn't have to be 100% realistic. You wonder why Noxtel has the snail snakes? I mean, we see snail snakes around crystal stuff too, so they might just be attracted to the silver. for one reason or another. I don't know why, but... I mean, it's not like we see any, like, I don't know, like golden snakes or something, right? So, the closest we get are dead snail snakes at the mountaintops and, in, capital outskirts, right? Wildlife just do be like that? Yeah, that's what I think. It do be like that. Alright, so I think I looted all the other good stuff down here, so I'll just have to look at Nardi's dock in case she has Noxtella written down, because I don't remember. Anyway, I'm gonna be... Yeah, the dead snail snakes could imply formerly native populations there, too. Yeah, it could be, or it could be that they're, like, attracted to stuff they get in the... I don't know, because they're scavengers, or maybe... Again, I'm not too familiar with snails or snakes, but, like, maybe the idea is supposed to be they're supposed to be, like, scavengers. Magic race. That's, again, makes sense, because, well... It's a magic place. Alright. Alright. I'm done, chat. I've done my due diligence. Well, maybe for the snake part, since the shells are big skulls, though. That's true, they got the big skulls. Anyway. I'm gonna call it right here, chat. You know what? Actually, now that you say that, the big skulls might be useful because if we find them one at the graveyard where again we find the giant spirits, and the other one we find in capital outskirts where we also have Dominula, well Altus, where we also have Dominula with women who also point out the size of the skulls, which can be connected back to trolls or giants and stuff. So you know what? That might actually have more weight to it than you'd think. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, so we're leaving. Later. Bye bye. Thanks for showing up.